Hey, Matt Scratch here, and today I'm going to be changing the wheel bearings in my 2000 Dodge Neon.
The first thing you want to do is punch out the actual hub, the center, so you have to get your a socket or something that lines up with that inner piece there, just the innermost ring, and push just only on that. There is a retainer ring right here that is holding the bearing in, so you can't press the whole bearing out. You just want to press out just this hub here. Okay, now you may notice the inner race of the bearing is stuck on there. Right there you can see that inner race is stuck on there, and so what I'm going to do now is just take my angle grinder and I'll grind down so it's paper thin on one side, and then I'll be able to just easily drive that off. So now the bearing's being retained by this retainer ring. It's held on by these three 13mm bolts. So I've got it sitting on the press plates just on the surface where that retainer ring mounted. And just make sure, because these do have this V here, you can actually get them a little too tight to the bearing, and then they'd jam up against it. So make sure that the bearing has room to come out. And then just make sure that you've got something that sits nicely on the inner face here, and it's not going to go crooked on you as you're pressing. And then you can press away. So I'm just going to be cleaning up this front knuckle assembly really quick here with the wire wheel on my drill, and mainly just to make sure that none of this loose scale or anything's going to fall into the bore as I'm pressing the new bearing in. The bore, I don't do a lot in there. I just, really quickly run this through there just to remove any, loose rust on the surface or anything. And then I'll wipe that out with an oily rag before I press the new bearing in, but you certainly don't want to remove any material from the bore. And yeah, other than that, I'll just put a coat of spray paint on there really quick, and then we'll get to pressing the new bearings. So we're going to start pressing the new bearing in. I'm using the old bearing to press the new bearing in. That's the beauty of the one race popping out of that old bearing, is you have something to press with. If you've done everything right, it should go in nice and smooth and easy, just like this. And you just keep pumping away, and you'll know when it stops. You'll hear like a bang. Right there. See, that bearing's completely seated in there. See, I've installed the retainer ring, and the only thing here is to make sure that this notch is lined up. You can see there's a corresponding notch there. And then just put a dab of Loctite on each of these three Now I'm pushing the hub into the knuckle assembly here, and I'm pushing it into the innermost race of the bearing there. And so you can see on the bottom side I have it supported with a socket there. It's only touching that inner race. Okay, and I believe it has come up tight. Just make sure that it spins nicely. It will feel quite stiff, but it should feel smooth, and it shouldn't be notchy at all. Like, it shouldn't have any stiff spots in it or anything. If it does, you've got a problem. But this one turns perfectly smooth. I've got both complete spindle assemblies ready to go back on the car. I also cleaned up the fasteners that hold them on the car. So now on to assembly. Thanks for watching Matt Scratch. Don't forget to like and subscribe.